Sustainability in fashion is a paradox. We will never reach it. Suppose sustainability is our end goal. It seems reasonable enough. Without a planet, we won't be able to make profit or improve lives or innovate or whatever other purposes you could argue a business has. If we really wanted sustainability in fashion, we would simply not produce any more clothes. Full stop. Clothing production inevitably takes resources from the planet, land, wool, cotton. That's why it's a paradox. But Jamie, aren't companies getting better? H&M's making clothes out of plastic bottles, and Zara vows to use 100% more sustainable cotton. Alright, everyone's favorite companies. Okay, maybe those are sarcastic but true examples. When you think of a sustainable clothing company, who do you think of? Patagonia? Well, straight from a 2012 Patagonia public statement. Everything we make, everything anyone makes, costs the planet more life than it gives back. From the founder, Yvon Chouinard's book. But everything we all do at work, unless you happen to sell organic seeds or night soil compost, hurts the environment more than it gives back. Even posting on YouTube apparently. So a more accurate title for this video would be Why the Future of Fashion is No Fashion or No Trends, but for some reason I feel like the whole no clothes thing will get more clicks. Please stay on the video and let me prove that the way that we currently think about fashion will never ever lend itself to sustainability, and how we can reframe the way we view and value clothing to get better, at least. Hi, I'm Jamie and welcome to Intent Inc. Here we investigate the everyday parts of our lives so that we can live and act with more intention. Let's start by outlining the way we currently think about fashion in trends. Even just walking around my college campus in the last 8 months, I've noticed changes in style. They've made me want to revamp my entire wardrobe, and I already did that last summer. As a general rule of thumb, brands that rely on trends as the primary value of their clothing, you should run from. Fast fashion stores like Zara, H&M, Forever 21, even American Eagle rely on convenience and rapidly changing, superficial aesthetic trends as the main reason people buy their clothing. Not only do these trends increase the amount of clothing people buy per year, the average American buys 68 garments per year, 5 times more than in 1980. But competition within the fashion industry is shortening the amount of time that clothes are trendy for even further. Now, fast fashion stores are releasing new collections every 4 to 6 weeks, and competition keeps driving the prices down further as well, making the clothes lower quality and more likely to be damaged and never worn again. Just by virtue of us consuming 5 times more clothing than we used to, even disregarding the unethical, unsustainable, pollution-driving practices of these fast fashion companies, you can see how fashion contributes to the climate crisis big time. 10% of global CO2 emissions every year come from fashion, which is more than international flights and shipping combined. A lot of pressure for sustainability in fashion is through the corporate or policy side. Lobbying, pressuring companies to recycle materials and implement less polluting production practices. But I think it's crucial for us to reconsider our fashion consumption as well. Reconsider what we actually value in clothing. And guys, I get it. Fast fashion clothes are very affordable and you feel cute wearing them, being on top of trends. But there's a trade-off to consider here. Convenience at the price of the earth. See, even though Patagonia's clothes generally pollute the environment less than its competitors, I think there's another bigger and more cultural reason why Patagonia's clothing represents the future of fashion, if sustainability is our end goal after all. This is my reframing. We all know about fast fashion, the enemy of the media it seems. But on the other side of fast fashion is, you won't believe it, slow fashion. Maybe not a term you're very familiar with. Slow fashion was first defined by Kate Fletcher in a 2007 article entitled Slow Fashion. She wrote, "Slow fashion is about designing, producing, consuming, and living better. Slow fashion is not time-based but quality-based. Slow is not the opposite of fast. There is no dualism, but a different approach in which designers, buyers, retailers, and consumers are more aware of the impacts of products on workers, communities, and ecosystems." Slow fashion actually has roots in the slow food movement started in Italy in the 1980s. This movement encourages people to cook at home using local ingredients instead of eating out at fast food. Maybe I should call this channel Slow Inc. I'm actually not kidding. Okay, back to fashion. It all still might seem a little vague. The way that I understand slow fashion is that instead of buying clothes based purely off of superficial aesthetics or trends, you buy clothes because you appreciate their craftsmanship, quality, longevity, the story behind it all. Think about brands like Patagonia, Madewell, or Everlane. Not only are these brands transparent about their production practices, they don't have to chase trends as much as fast fashion companies like Urban Outfitters or Forever 21 because consumers come to them for the clothes themselves, the craftsmanship, not fleeting trends. Take this Patagonia fleece from 1984 for example. You could literally be wearing this 38 years later and be just as fashionable, or probably even more fashionable than wearing a Patagonia jacket today. The general trends of the 80s, not so much. Editing Jamie here. I also found this article, Slow Fashion, an Oxymoron or Promise for the Future by Hazel Clark, to be absolute gold. Honestly, I could quote the entire video just from this paper, but I'll narrow it down to one quote for you guys. They reuse materials in ways that question the notion of fashion being associated with the new. By focusing more on the materiality of objects, they question fashion being predicated on the image. In this refocusing, fashion is presented as an individual creative choice rather than as a group mandate. So basically it's a shift as appreciating fashion as inherently something new and something that makes you belong better into a group. And instead it's an individual creative choice that also is associated with the quality of the objects themselves, the materiality. We all have those staple clothing pieces that we've been wearing literally for 5 years or more, though hopefully not continuously. Are those something you bought at a slow fashion-like store? What about those shirts or pants you bought and have worn fewer times than you can count on one hand? Fast fashion, chasing trends? Now you might have some objections at this point. So what, you just want fashion to stop innovating? Jamie, you just have a boring fashion taste. Slow fashion is really expensive. All good points, and the second one, I can't really argue with. I mean, okay, fashion innovation. I think fashion can still innovate just with a focus on craftsmanship. Create clothes out of new materials or try different styles that catch on. Again, every viewpoint has trade-offs, and slow fashion will have less trends and probably less eye-catching styles than fast. And the cost is a great point, the main point. This Madewell sweater, which I love and won't be surprised if I'm still wearing 6 years from now, was $90 with a college student discount. Yeah, won't be filling my closet with these anytime soon. Meanwhile, this top from Forever 21 was literally $2. Yeah, it's a big consideration. A remedy I have for this is while shopping at fast fashion or budget-friendly stores, pick out some of the more timeless pieces you can find. This shirt, $20, while still cropped and slightly trendy, I can see myself wearing for a few years. Meanwhile, this similar $10 shirt from H&M, I already have started to avoid wearing, and not just because there's a stain on the chest. This shirt, while feeling slightly higher quality also, just has some greater element of timelessness to it. And maybe that's just because it's a less revealing style and aligns more with what I generally wear. Now tell me, in terms of budget, would you rather have this one $20 shirt or these 4 trendy shirts which total the same amount and I've worn fewer times than I can count on one hand? And I admit this isn't the strongest proof, this is mostly just anecdotal evidence of me being a wasteful consumer, but I'm an 18-year-old girl and I think a lot of fashion shoppers are similar. Of course, you can wear whatever you want. I am by no means saying that you need to stop buying fast fashion altogether and only wear boring clothes that will still be acceptable 5+ years from now. That's the beauty of fashion and the limitless choices out there, self-expression. This video was just to introduce a new way to think about what you wear, what you choose to buy. So to recap, the way we think about fashion now and trends will never be sustainable. As Patagonia admitted in 2012, the brand heralded as the pinnacle of eco-friendliness. Everything we make, everything anyone makes, costs the planet more life than it gives back. Chasing trends like fast fashion encourages and enables ultimately lends itself to low quality clothes which you will only wear a few times before they go out of style. Because fast fashion's driving value is cheap aesthetics, it encourages overconsumption and high turnover, even cannibalizing its own styles to get people to buy new ones. Not even considering their pollutive production practices, simply just this focus of new, better, incessantly steals resources from the planet. Part of sustainable fashion too is us buying less. And a frame I found for this is slow fashion. Appreciating genuine quality, craftsmanship, over fleeting trends. Remember the 1984 Patagonia fleece? By valuing clothes based on craftsmanship, they become almost an art form. Their style becomes timeless, and you can wear the same article for years and years. You can see how this shifts the way we think about consumption. So start being more intentional about what you buy. Even if you still do shop at fast fashion stores, find those gem pieces whose artistry you can appreciate, not just the ones you see everyone else starting to wear. And guys, this video is not exhaustive by any means, just a topic I'm interested in and an industry I work in, so I've done some research and formed a viewpoint. If you have anything to add or counter, please leave a comment and I'd love to have a discussion. Stay tuned for weekly videos like this summer on Intent Inc.